Hey man, are you good?
Yeah, just catching my breath.
If you say so.
Witness the world of Dragon Ball from a brand new perspective. Step into a whole new world right now, here on Illegal Xenoverse 2.
This series exists to have fun exploring hidden content and arm people with knowledge to keep Xenoverse 2 fair to all players. I do not encourage players to use illegal moves in ways that make the game unfair to others by giving themselves unfair advantages or breaking the game during online play, especially in competitive settings. Knowledge is power, and with that power comes the responsibility to use one's best judgment as to what's appropriate to use online with friends and with others. I am not responsible if you choose to use illegal moves in a harmful way. Getting called out in the community or banned from the game for cheating in tournaments or ranked will be your own fault. What's up, guys and gals? Justazag here, and welcome to another episode of Illegal Xenoverse 2, the show where we take a look into the hidden and forbidden side of Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2. In today's episode, we're going to be focusing on two specific illegal moves today, being the super skilled Spirit Bomb Tower and unknown skill 1114/0. Why these two specifically and at the same time? Well, it's because these two moves are something of anomalies when it comes to illegal moves on the super skills category. Their use within the game is a mystery as far as who uses them and why. Or at least they were mysteries before I decided to investigate. Though they're nothing impressive visually, after analyzing them as best I can, I think I've unearthed their secrets and gotten some deeper insight into what they're actually for, and how they are involved in certain key aspects of the coding in Xenoverse 2. So, let's get into my findings, and I'll explain to you what each move does, and also tell you a little bit about how the game uses these moves to handle certain animations, unique states for characters, and transitions between transformation states. First up is the first of the illegal moves that appear in the super skills list, the Ride-On of Illegal Xenoverse 2 of sorts. Spirit Bomb Tower, or as it's fully written out, Spirit Bomb Tower, Time Patrol specific, is a super skill never used in combat during any point in Xenoverse 2's gameplay. No character, be they custom character, cast character, enemy in a story mission, or boss in an exclusive raid, seem to ever have this move equipped. When the move is equipped by a character through save modification, it will be fully functional and can be activated at any time. Activating the move is visually nothing special. The user will raise their hands up as though they were beginning to charge up a Spirit Bomb, such as when using the fully legal super move Spirit Bomb, or a version of the ultimate move, Super Spirit Bomb. Why there's several of those is a topic for another day. Unlike those moves, however, there is nothing else to Spirit Bomb Tower as far as animations. There's no Spirit Bomb projectile created, nor is there any charging energy animation outside of very, very specific circumstances that I'll explain later. All the user does is just float there. And when I say that's it for animations, I mean it. There is no transition where they throw an invisible Spirit Bomb and go back to normal. The move never ends. You're stuck in that pose. While frozen in place, there are a few things that happen to your character you will likely not notice at first due to them having no visual indication. First of all, the user will gain super armor, not unlike some expert mission and raid bosses. basic attacks, stamina and guard breaks, ki blasts, and most any other type of super or ultimate will still do damage, but anything short of a killing blow will make them budge. Health regeneration will also no longer affect the users so long as they remain stuck in place. This includes health regeneration that can be enabled in photo mode and training mode, as well as the natural regeneration all Namekian and custom characters have. Using this move really does leave you utterly helpless, though if you do find yourself stuck like this, then there is still some hope to get free. I did say earlier that you were stuck in place with this move, but as it turns out there are actually a few ways to break free. The first way to escape Spirit Bomb Tower requires the assistance of your opponent. If they perform a grapple attack on you, or a skill that is considered one, then the grapple will go through and yank you out of the Spirit Bomb pose, freeing you. The second method isn't as painful as the first. Assuming you also have one equipped and enough ki to use it, you can activate your Awoken skill despite it appearing blacked out, and it will immediately free you. If you're already transformed, hitting Unlock Awoken skill and shutting it off will also work. The third and final method for escape involves using ultimate attacks, though there are some risks and side effects that come with using this method. Ultimates such as Spirit Sword, Full Power Energy Wave, or the actual Super Spirit Bomb, for example, will all activate as expected and free you from being trapped, despite also looking blacked out when you pull them up. The thing is, doing this has some weird limits. You can enter Spirit Bomb Tower and then use an ultimate roughly 2 times in a row as a means to escape. But after that, the ultimate will suddenly just stop working as a method to free you. Sometimes you can still escape by using the other ultimate, but then other times it won't work either, and neither will the Awoken skill method for some reason, making you truly stuck without some outside help. The tests I did regarding this proved to be incredibly inconsistent, as it initially looked like you could always escape if you transitioned into Super Spirit Bomb specifically, but then it had a run where 2 in a row got me stuck. Maybe it's the frequency of how fast I use them, Spirit Bomb Tower, then the ultimate again, or maybe there's another factor I'm not considering or I can't see unless I look directly into the code. Being an illegal move, it's not surprising that there are some weird quirks when it's being used by someone it's not supposed to be. Its inability to play well with ultimates aside, the move is otherwise very stable and consistent, and has no notable variation between characters of different races and genders, aside from Namekian characters having a weird little foot twitch and some occasional clipping by head ornaments on Arcosians. With all this information we've gathered, you're probably wondering why this move even exists. What purpose does it have in the game? Is it a scrapped move? A buggy leftover from Xenoverse 1? Ever since I first tried using the move, I've wondered this myself. And then it hit me. Wait a sec. Is that? Yes, that might be it! Parallel Quest number 60. Blast the Super Spirit Bomb. This mission is based on the climax of the Buu saga, and does something no other parallel quest does in the game. The main portion of this quest involves fighting off Kid Buu while Goku charges up a Super Spirit Bomb in order to finish him off. Unlike most other quests that require you to keep a character alive, instead of Goku fighting alongside you and then just performing scripted dialogue implying he did what he said he would once you've beaten your enemy, Goku very faithfully recreates the scene from Dragon Ball Z where he has to stay in place and charge it. And if we take a look at Goku at the start of this quest, sure enough, there it is. This is what Spirit Bomb Tower is for. Although it's programmed into the game as an executable super move, its actual purpose is to put Goku into a state where he cannot fight or be healed during this specific parallel quest. By the end of a successful standard finish, a cutscene of Goku activating the Super Spirit Bomb ultimate is played. This is likely the reason why executing an ultimate is able to free you when you're the one using Spirit Bomb Tower. But why is it like this? Why would they need to make an entire move rather than just an animation? Well, the simple answer is, depending on your opinions of Xenoverse 2, you can call it either effectively finding an easier way to get a desired effect, or a lazy shortcut put together to save time. The game only has so many animations and effects it uses for cutscenes. These include, but are not limited to, flying in from the distance in a group of 1 to 3 and then the camera zooming in, a character flying up and then flying away, a character charging up and then transforming, a character clutching their head in pain and then transforming into a supervillain transformation, a character standing back up after being knocked out, but before then regaining their posture and pulling their arms back. A great ape appearing from the sky, and then looking up and smirking at the camera. You get the point. A lot of the same with different characters copied and pasted over them. There's only a few more special ones that appear, such as Goku using instant transmission to leave an area instead of flying away. Though even that one looks simple and generic enough, it's likely made so that if they needed to, they could also copy and paste it onto other characters. Regardless of however cost-effective these animations may be, what's important is to note that they serve two purposes. The first is moving a character in an area, be it bringing them into an area, moving them out of an area, or reviving them so they can be reintroduced to an area they were already in. The second is to get a character to perform a specific move. 69 times out of 70 the move is an awoken skill, or on rare occasion it swaps out a character for another. If there's a move for that stored in the game's data, I have yet to confirm, but we'll see. It may be hard to identify, but I have a hunch it might be in there somewhere. That one time out of 70, though, it's not an awoken skill being used, however, and you know what we're talking about. In Parallel Quest number 60, the game does a lot of things you don't see in any other Parallel Quest or story mission. The main thing we're here to see is Goku activating Spirit Bomb Tower. This seems to be Goku playing out a cutscene. Now, it may not seem like that since the camera doesn't get overridden and all the characters don't freeze, but that's either because the game was programmed explicitly not to do that in this one instance, or it's because it's a super move so it can't override the camera like an ultimate. Although this Parallel Quest does have some unique programming to it, what the developers seem to have opted to do was instead create a way for the game to play a designated move a character has instead of programming a bunch of little triggers and effects into it that all have to be timed a certain way and without fail to look and function right. Though we can't look at his equipped skills with the tools currently available to us, we can't speculate the move is equipped to Goku. That, or the trigger that activates Spirit Bomb Tower also temporarily shoves the move into him before telling him to use it. This same process is also likely what tells Goku to use Super Spirit Bomb once you beat Buu and get the standard finish, as he is clearly also performing the ultimate move and not a different unique animation. Since they already went through the trouble of making it possible to execute a move as a cutscene, why not? With that being said, there is also one extra trigger in this quest that does do something unique. Remember how I said there was an exception to a part of Spirit Bomb Tower's animations? That exception is here during this specific parallel quest, and only here. Kind of. Long story, but let's get into what it is here before I throw in the sudden curveball I found that made me rewrite a huge chunk of the script. Programmed into the scenario is a trigger that tells the game to give anyone using Spirit Bomb Tower the charge animation from the Spirit Bomb Super. Not Goku, anyone. Meaning if you bring a modified custom character into this parallel quest and activate the move at any point, you'll get the effect until you get knocked back or use an ultimate just like Goku. However, using the Awoken skill method to escape being frozen doesn't count, making it so you can actually still move around with the charging effect still on you. If you then repeat the process, you can gain more copies of the animation until you're just surrounded in a massive Spirit Bomb orb.
It's done!
I really should stop this before it crashes my game. It's kind of interesting they decided to program this unique element into the quest itself, despite putting all the other major unique elements in the Spirit Bomb Tower. Or did they actually? After making a new discovery, it looks like the explanation may actually be a lot simpler than I originally thought. While I was recording footage for this video, I actually discovered that there was more to the Spirit Bomb charging effect by complete accident. I just so happened to have both Spirit Bomb Tower and Spirit Bomb on one of my characters at the same time. To my shock, when I used Spirit Bomb Tower, I suddenly had the charging effect, despite not being in PQ60. And not only that, but so did the other character I had in this photo mode session. This is despite them having Spirit Bomb Tower, but not Spirit Bomb equipped as well. This was an unexpected curveball that hit me while making this episode, so I almost omitted it to keep things simple. But that would be very disingenuous and deceptive of me. Having proven information of something on video and then just pretending it doesn't exist to be convenient for my narrative? Ha! Like I'd do that. What am I, a cop?
Wait, so this is the guy talking shit.
So anyway, I think what's going on is that by someone having Spirit Bomb equipped, a flag is hit in the code that causes the game to store the charging animation for the upcoming match, allowing for the animation to be called on when someone uses the move. Spirit Bomb Tower, meanwhile, is not programmed to hit that flag to store the animation in the code before the match, but it is still programmed to try and call for it whenever it's used. This is a fairly big discovery, as this implies that animations and effects for moves are preloaded and stored in some way each time you go into a fight or quest, rather than being loaded in at a given moment whenever you use them, or all at once beforehand. This is likely done to make things run smoother by not loading in an excessive amount of unnecessary assets during gameplay. I'm definitely remembering this, as this information could help us figure things out about other illegal moves in the future. Back to Spirit Bomb Tower though. With this knowledge in mind, it becomes clear what's going on in PQ60. The animation for charging isn't hard-coded into the parallel quest as I initially suggested, but instead what's actually happening is it's hitting the flag in the game's code to store the charging animation when you load the quest. Or, even simpler, Goku might just have Spirit Bomb equipped as a super which already stores it. The running theme here has been simplicity and shortcuts, so it could just be that simple. Unfortunately, I couldn't get any footage of Goku using Spirit Bomb during the extra segment of the quest where he starts fighting alongside you, but it's not impossible he is just programmed not to use it, or I just happen to miss him doing it. Which, if that's the case, then you at home can gladly correct me in the comments. And so, with the mystery surrounding Spirit Bomb Tower's elusive aura solved, and this new knowledge about effects and animations in Xenoverse 2 gained, that, ladies and gentlemen, is Spirit Bomb Tower, where and what it's used for, how it works based on what I've concluded from my research, and why it's like it is, along with why it does or does not have a charging aura at a given moment. We're not done here though. Now that we know the game uses illegal moves to force characters into specific states, let's take a look at another illegal move that may be used for a similar reason, but in a bit of a different way. Let's talk about Unknown Skill 1114/0. Oh, but first, ad time. Don't worry, I'll make it super quick this time. Soesiclothing.co. It's got shirts, hats, hoodies, and yes, even masks themed around all kinds of things gaming and cool. Not only are their prices super good, but by using code ZAGZ, you can knock an extra 15% off your purchase, while also supporting the channel at the same time. Every purchase with that code helps us make more awesome content like this for you. Shirts, hoodies, hats, and masks. Everything you need if you need to head out for any reason in 2020. Alright, now back to the illegal moves. Unknown Skill 1114/0 is an anomaly when it comes to illegal super moves just like Spirit Bomb Tower, but for different reasons. The most noticeable aspect that sets it apart is its name, as it is the only skill called Unknown Skill in the Supers list, which is surprising given the number of unknown skills in other move categories such as Awoken skills. So, what does this lone enigma of a move do? Well, like with Spirit Bomb Tower, it's nothing crazy visually. When activated, the unknown skill will cause your character to hunch over and start breathing heavily. That's it. The animation that plays for the character when using the move is dependent on their race and gender. This is because the animations they're using are the same ones used when a given race and gender of CAC is either revived after being knocked out, or recovering from a heavy stamina break. Similarly to when you're in those states, your CAC will be unable to move and will be trapped in the animation. Unlike Spirit Bomb Tower, there is no way for you to free yourself once you use this move. It doesn't end naturally like when you're heavy stunned or shaking off being revived. Instead, you'll just be stuck hunched over breathing like a heavy smoker after they tried running a marathon a few thousand feet above sea level. You can escape by taking damage from an enemy attack though. This time any move or basic attack will work and not just grapples. This is consistent to when you're normally in the animation when stamina broken or just revived, as getting hit while in those states will also end the animation prematurely rather than showing them shaking it off. It doesn't matter what race or gender your character is, or if you're in the air or on the ground. You can activate the move without fail and it will put your character in the same state of being stuck in place and breathing heavily. The exception to this is male Majins. For some reason, male Majins are the only type of custom character where when they try to use the move, it will not work. They will only play the first few frames of their revive/heavy stamina broke animation, and then will just suddenly stop. It kind of looks funny when you spam it over and over. Yeah, look at this guy. So, what's the meaning of this move? With Spirit Bomb Tower, it became fairly clear why it exists once we put some of the clues together. What's up with 1114 over 0? Well, here's my guess. Since Spirit Bomb Tower is stored as a move so that it can 1. Put a character in a desired state, and 2. Force the character to play a certain animation for what seems to be a cutscene, it's not too far-fetched to think 1114 is the same. It's most likely stored as a super move in order to easily stick the player character into the state of being immobilized but vulnerable while playing its specific animation. Where have we seen this before? Remember 30 seconds ago when I was mentioning where this animation is also used? Yes, the gears are turning in your head too, aren't they? 1114 is most likely used when your character is recovering from a heavy stamina break, and after they get revived. It has no automatic end because the game is programmed to make the animation last until your character fully transitions into a specific state, at which point a separate trigger tells it to stop. For heavy stamina breaks, this happens when your stamina is fully recovered. For being revived, the trigger is instead shortly after your character transitions back from their knocked out transformation state back to their normal state. Yes, I said knocked out transformation state. That is something else I'll explain in another episode or in a video of its own. The short version is the game considers you in a different transformation state when you're unconscious. Once you get revived and some of your health is returned to you, the game notices that you've transitioned back from your unconscious form to your base form. What's likely happening is the game is now playing a cutscene, just like when Goku is told to use Spirit Bomb Tower. The same for when the game knows you've been hit by a heavy stamina break and have gotten to your feet. Since we're activating it in a way not intended just like Spirit Bomb Tower, it has no trigger to call on to end it outside of a handful of exceptions built directly into it. In Spirit Bomb Tower's case, it's transitioning into an ultimate or awoken skill or getting grappled. I guess Boo just knows to not do that, or they forgot to make that not the case. In 1114's case, the exception is being attacked by any means, as when it's being called on properly, the intent is that you're being left open for an enemy to land a free hit on you because they either hit you with a heavy stamina break, or you just got back up on your feet after an ally or overpowered Super Soul has revived you from the dead. It's really crazy to think how many times we've seen this super get used and never realized it. I can only imagine what kind of process the developers went through to make the game like this. And all we can do is guess as to why. Maybe it is just like Spirit Bomb Tower, where it was easier to make an executable move internally instead of programming everything that has to happen after being revived or stamina broken individually and separately. They use the same animation and leave the person using it in the same vulnerable position, so why program all those aspects twice? Reminder though, I'm not a game dev, so I have no clue if this is actually a more efficient or effective shortcut that they might have actually taken. Well, call it cutting corners or efficient programming tricks, I honestly love digging up things like this in games. Something that seems nonsensical or completely pointless at first glance, actually turning out to be an integral part of major functions in specific parts of the game, or the entire game as a whole. It was like making a breakthrough researching some ancient machine as I tried to reverse engineer it. As for using these moves in actual play, I'm going to personally advise against taking them online. They really do nothing to help you out in combat and really just inconvenience you. Maybe if you're crazy enough you can take advantage of Spirit Bomb Tower's quick access to super armor, but aside from that there's really only one way these could sway the fight in your favor. And that's by pairing them with body change, which, given the soft block-like nature of these moves, could easily screw an opponent who doesn't know about them beforehand. So yeah, maybe use the strat to screw with your buddies, but keep that combo off normal and competitive PvP. As I always say, I'm not responsible if you choose to be a jerk and use these moves in a harmful way. But now that this is out there for everyone to see, hopefully you all know not to activate either of these if you get body jacked and see them in your new super move list. And on that note, that's it for this episode of Illegal Xenoverse 2. As always, I hope you all enjoyed exploring the illegal side of Xenoverse 2 with me once again. and I hope arming you with this knowledge will help make the game more fun and fair for you too. If you're still hungry for more illegal moves in Xenoverse 2, then check out last episode where we took a look into a secret transformation known as the Purified Saiyans. And while you're at it, consider subscribing and ring the bell so you'll be the first to know when new episodes come out. Like the video, leave a comment to tell me your thoughts or suggest a new illegal move to look into, and yeah, I hope to see you guys and gals next time on Illegal Xenoverse 2.